California regulator targets 11 crypto trading desks operating like Ponzis. So yesterday, which I didn't hear about this until today, my goodness, and I'm from LA County. But yesterday, California's Department of Financial Protection and Innovation filed a cease and desist order against 11 crypto firms. I actually looked at these 11 crypto firms. I have no idea who any of them are. I've never heard of them in my life. So maybe they were being dishonest. DFPI alleges the firms were either dishonest with customer funds or violated state security laws. They say each entity allegedly offered and sold unqualified securities. 10 of them also made material representations and omissions to investors. The regulator also alleges that each firm used investor funds to pay profits to other investors in a manner of Ponzi schemes, which is kind of interesting because the banking system in California and all over the United States also does this. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, even though we had Gavin Newsom veto AB 2269. I think I want to toss this over to Jen.
Well, Wendy, when I read this, if all of these things are true that are being said and verified, it sounds like a Ponzi scheme. But again, I didn't also know any of the companies that were listed here. And a lot of these statements feels like are up to interpretation. And so I would love to see more information. I would love to see why these statements are being made and some hard examples. You know, Governor Newsom recently called for something very similar to Hester Peirce's SAFE proposal. And I really think safe harbor proposal. And I think that the conversation needs to come back to that, right? Like, are there regulatory frameworks that allow crypto companies to kind of experiment and get to where their milestones are going? I think we need to have the conversation there, because if we start applying laws that are already in existence that don't really fit how crypto companies build and operate, we're going to find ourselves in this same situation. And so I want more information on this story. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These are alleged bad actors, so we'll call them alleged bad actors, and let's just think of them as alleged bad actors here. Gavin Newsom, to his credit, is thinking through these things at least, right? He wants to find a framework that can support crypto innovation while also weeding out alleged bad actors. So to me, it's got to be a combination of both, right? It's got to be, all right, cool, crypto industry, we hear you. We're trying to stand up some frameworks that can make it work for us mutually, but also for just like outright alleged scams. Yeah, shut that shit down. Seriously, I don't think there's any room in the space for it. Crypto has a bad enough reputation as is. So to get these sort of alleged bad actors, again, alleged bad actors, out of the space is a good thing. If you can clear the underbrush, the California wildfire that burns down the entire industry will be lessened. You got to get that fuel out of the way so that it doesn't burn it all down. Clear the underbrush, keep the redwoods. Okay, that's all I'm saying here. We love trees. I'm tossing it to Will.
That was a very dad take. I appreciate it, Zach. Love the references there. I sort of agree with you, but I also sort of don't, because what is a bad actor? And there's some cases where you really know, right? But a year ago, I don't know if anyone would have called Do Kwon a bad actor. In fact, a lot of people thought he was a great innovator in the space. And then in May, everyone changed their opinion, and now they really don't like him, and they're cheering on as Interpol is sleuthing around the globe for him, right? So we don't really know until we know, and that's the tough part. One question I actually have for the group, and I don't know if you guys have thought about this or have any inputs on it. It's odd when we see these state actions against these quote unquote decentralized global cryptocurrencies or crypto projects, these NFT projects. Ostensibly, anybody can touch this anywhere on the globe, yet we see one state going after it here, California. But this happens for so many other projects, right? Like BlockFi was targeted by Vermont, Texas, Alabama. Saw the same for Nexo just a few days ago. Like, these things are very much so international, yet we only see like enforcement on a state level. Sometimes the SEC gets involved. And so it's a little bit odd to think about it in that sense. Say like, oh, this one jurisdiction doesn't like my project, so can anybody else use it? And what are the repercussions for continuing to use it, even if I'm not in California? Maybe I'm a US citizen that lives here in Colorado. Might not really matter for me. Maybe I'm outside the US. I don't know. Zach, I'll punt it back up to you for your take on it really quick.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good like consumer protection frameworks yet, right? So these are state securities regulators who are saying, hey, these products touch my citizens. I'm going to take action in an effort to quote unquote protect them, right? And I think that in a global permissionless environment is a really tenuous framework. So hopefully, as states and governments at the federal level think about how to again make a supportive framework for the good things of crypto, hopefully that can be sort of sussed out, right? Where do the jurisdictional issues really fall? Is it where these things are ostensibly based? That's also tricky too, right? Or is it where they're ostensibly used? So I think that, again, these are not systems that neatly fit into existing frameworks for regulation. And as such, we see some of these clunky regulatory actions that manifest themselves in enforcement or other things along the road. But this is part of that process toward getting this, I don't know, industry to that next level, in my view, personally. But I got to give Wendy the last word because I think she's got a fire take of brewing. Wendy?
I think at this point they're just pulling names out of a hat and then they decide who they want to target because it's honestly not concise. It's not concise. And we have, we've got the different states and everybody has these different gripes with all these different cryptocurrency companies or these DeFi protocols or whatever it is. Like, I just want to see some more clarity so people can get back to work and get back to business.